Another week like this for sure. You can tell that even the side-by-side stopped. They went through these first couple aisles and then stopped and turned around.
Let's walk back there a couple hundred yards.
Solid snow.
I don't know what that is though. That looks like a big paw. But I don't know what that is. It could be a double step. I think it's elk. Here's some more.
Yep, that looks real elkish. We were told that the elk are up here. Yeah, even though we can't drive anymore because of the snow and mud, we can come and see if Bigfoot's crossed any of these snow or mud patches. Welcome to Jarbidge, an awesome Bigfoot expedition.
There's a bunch of elk.
Yeah.
You're talking the one that looks like a footprint back there, Derek?
Yeah.
Right. I see what he's talking about.
Even looks
from
like it's
10
got
feet away.
Toes. The side of it. I'm sorry, but that looks more like a bare footprint to me. Not a bare print, bare footprint.
Yeah, I see the toes.
Yeah, another week.
I want to get a measurement on that. Oh, it smells so good up here. This fallen tree. It smells so good. Look, it fell perfectly across the road. Uphill. This is where everybody's turned around.
Yeah.
Nobody's attempted this part.
Look at that. And that.
Oh.
Wow. That is a perfect... I don't know what that is. What is it, a mountain lion?
Looks like a lion.
Size of it.
It's big.
What?
I wouldn't rule it out.
Look at the size of this. That's a moose.
That's a moose.
Cool. This is a great spot to look for a Bigfoot crossing. I mean, every animal, we just confirmed that there's wolves here.
Oh my gosh. Look how big that paw is.
Yeah, it's 5
It's
inches.
as big as my hand.
It's at least 5 inches wide.
That's a big one. Oh, and they ran up here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 trails up into there. This one, this one, this one, and this one. 4 of them.
We always seem to follow the snow line in our Bigfooting ventures. But the elk follow the snow line. I think the Bigfoot follows the snow line too. Yeah, there's a big old moose that's been through here just recently. Look at the size of that.
It's huge.
Yeah, he's double the size of the elk. At least
Look
his
at
tracks
from
are.
step to step.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He just went right up there.
And we might have a moose around. This is the reason why we walked up here. So we knew we were going to be able to see
Yeah, you're not driving through this.
a percentage of the animals that are here.
There's footprints here. I think.
They're one right in front of the other. But there's nothing definitive. They could be people that have melted out, but they're huge.
What kind?
Probably wolf.
That's fresh. Wonder if they're tracking these elk or the moose.
Or the back door for the scent of human.
Check out the size of this moose that walked here, Derek. His tracks anyway.
God damn.
He's twice the size of any of the elk we've been seeing.
That's huge.
And look, he's sinking in deep. And then there's this biped trackway.
A pair of them side by side.
You know, I'm having a hard time with these people footprints. Want to know why? There's not people footprints going that way where you can't get. They're coming down the way.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think about that.
Both sets are going down.
That's my only issue of us calling them people, is there's nothing here showing that they walked that direction, and the only way for them to come back this way is to go this way. Look at all the tracks we're leaving coming in.
I didn't think about that.
It's a good argument for, look at the size of this one here. And this one, it looks like toes had melted out of this one. Look at this one next to me. There's my 12-inch footprint. Next to that one. And then there's a smaller one that's walking next to it. So you're talking a 14 here and a 17 here. These are both 14s and 17s without throwing a tape on them.
That one's really good on the end.
And they're almost twice as wide as our footprints. Maybe we got 2 of the 3 Bigfoot that ran those guys out of camp.
I don't know.
Walked right through this too, didn't it?
Yeah. And the other one's actually quite a bit lighter. It actually followed right here to the side of this big old moose, but it didn't anywhere near depress the same, so it's a smaller individual.
Well, look, everything's soft right now. The height of the warmth of the day, it's almost 90 degrees. And look, I'll step in right there.
It's pretty deep.
Here, I'm gonna get closer to the footprint. There's been like 100 of them. This is why I love walking through these snow drifts. What's funny, this is how skeptical we are. Even though we're up to a place that's named Jarbidge, Cannibal giants. Has a long history, even back with the ancient Native Americans, of Bigfoot sightings here. A Bigfoot sighting 20 months ago. We come up here and we're like, oh yeah, that's a wolf, that's a moose, that's an elk, that's a deer. We find something that looks like Bigfoot and we're trying to blame it on people. Even though we'll sit and identify everything when it comes to Bigfoot, we still want to say that's a person. The odd thing is there's no tracks coming this direction. You can't drive in from that direction and walk that way. You're gonna have to walk from that direction this way and go back, and we're only seeing the footprints going that direction. 2 sets, one's 17, one's 14.
It's a hell of a good point.
14-inch one, the one that you just found in the mud down there that's close enough to the vehicle when we go back. We're gonna get the tape and measure that because the toes are real definitive in that.
And saw toes on a bare footprint toes.
See, and we were still trying to blow it off until we found more footprints.
I didn't blow it off. Exactly what I suspected it was the moment I saw it.
Well, that one has better toes than any of these ones we're finding in the snow.
I agree with you, Ronnie.
That's where that moose took off that we've been tracking. They're not having to come down to the river if they don't want to. That's going to be cleaner. There isn't going to be no beaver stuff in that. Higher we climb, just more and more snow. 2 Jarbidge.
I fixed you.
There's not 2. Tessa. T-S-A-W.
I think all 3 of us are going to pronounce it different. Jenny's 2 Jarbidge.
No. Tessa. Jarbidge.
I'm going to say 2 Jarbidge.
So he's going for broke. There's no more footprints.
Yeah.
It went up the
I think it followed the elk.
It came out of the
Or not the elk, the moose.
it followed that little stream out. And what's on the other side of this mountain and straight down
Is us.
is us. We're right on the other side of this mountain.
Yeah, we're camping just over this mountain peak on the other side. Hey, that makes sense for the stuff that was happening on the other side of the river.
It is. Through there.
There's some up there.
Bigfoot?
I don't know, but they're big. Zoom in on them.
Walk in here. This is really soft.
See those impressions up there?
Yeah.
Just zoom in on them and see what they are. You move, but they look big from here. I'm sunblind. I can't see in that little.
I can't tell if there's anything Bigfoot from here, even zooming in. I'm seeing plenty of game evidence up here.
Something's been eating pine nuts here. They're cracked open.
Oh, this is where I would be if I wanted a dry place to sleep.
Oh, look how creepy. One old shoe. That's old.
Odd.
It's made with nails. That's how old it is.
Okay, just a minute. I want a picture of that. I found this old shoe back in here Bigfooting. We found some Bigfoot tracks. They disappeared off the trail, so we've gone off trail searching for them, and we found a lone shoe. Looks like a size 5 or something.
It's tiny.
But Jenny's pointing out that the shoe's been nailed together at some point in time.
Yeah, these are all nails. This is an old shoe. Look at all the nails coming up through.
This Tasaha bits or Jarbidge. The settlement was started because they struck gold over 100 years here ago. We should find little Native America evidence, because the Native Americans state that they avoided the area because of the cannibal giants.
I think somebody a long time ago was using this as a campground. Look, there's an old can in there.
It may have been an old
Campsite.
an old miner's campsite, because that shoe's definitely older than my grandparents.
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember my grandparents ever saying that their shoes were nailed together. I'll bet you we're in an old miner's campsite.
Ooh.
That was a small shoe, like a woman's or a child's shoe, though. A very, very small man.
This is a cat trail that goes right through here. There's some scratches, and then we found the poo right over there. This is where a mountain lion hangs out.
What'd you find?
It's an old panning. You know how you pan for gold?
Oh, really?
It's an old pan. Bottom wore through, but the side is still here.
Yeah, we need to leave everything here that we find.
It's an old pan where you pan for gold. I bet he was panning in this stream right here.
I'm sure.
And there's some more cans.
There's
right
an old
there.
can. Makes you wonder how long he camped here. He camped here long enough to abandon a shoe. Didn't that shoe remind you of a woman's shoe?
No.
It didn't? Okay.
Women's shoes back then were pointy toe.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a small person's shoe.
Yeah, people were smaller back then. Oh, look at right there, nailed at the tree. His lantern. Where his... Right here. That's cool, huh?
Yeah, let me get it in the frame.
Are you filming?
Uh-huh.
A wash basin. You know those big tubs where they wash their
Yeah.
clothes?
It looks like probably back when they just made them a still.
Yep. And here's a food can. Oh, look. They had to actually open them with those, you know. They didn't have openers. The can openers that are square. I mean triangle.
Mm-hmm.
This is so neat.
Yeah.
So we found his wash basin. 2 of his soup cans.
Probably his lantern holder.
His lantern holder. This is probably where he had his...
That's probably actually where he put his tent. Or his shelter.
Yep. And a shoe. Let's hope we don't find skeleton. Oh, there's another can. Oh, look at it. There's another can here, another can here. He must have just had a cache of cans and they just got uncovered slowly.
If there was no sanitation, you just chucked your junk back then.
Looks like Derek found something.
Alright, let's go see what Derek's got going on.
There's more.
Oh, there's more of the miner's equipment. Even though it looks like trash, it's so old that I consider it a historical site.
Yeah, it's neat.
To me, it's neat.
There's a whole bunch. There's more cans right there. There's probably more neat stuff underneath the snow.
Huh, that's a different shaped can.
I'm gonna flip it on its end. Meat, maybe? I don't know.
I have no idea what it is. There's
Oh,
a
that one actually has...
larger can with some paint on it. Check it out, there's more artifacts.
Did you see the pan? Yeah, there was a pan.
Yeah, a gold miner's pan.
Gold miner's pan. There was a big wash basin where he was washing his clothes. There was a little thing tacked on the tree where he had his lantern.
Yeah, his lantern holder's right behind you on that tree right there, Caleb, the big tree. Uh-huh. See anything Bigfoot up there, Caleb?
Saw a bunch of different mushrooms.
Oh, mushrooms growing next to the snow. That's crazy. Did you take pictures with your camera? Derek wants us.
Found something.
We're coming. We saw something rusty and got interested. Did you see any footprints of where it might have left the road area?
Like more scrap, more smaller, like a box. This is where that moose came out and went. Old whiskey bottles.
Yeah, we found an old miner's camp over there, Derek.
That's cool.
We even found his old rusted out pan.
That's awesome. That's a piece.
I just filmed it.
As for abundance,
Yeah, Caleb says he was finding mushrooms.
big mushrooms, and not just big, but you got all sorts of them.
Different types.
And right here, I mean, the shit's distinctly stuck up in the tree.
I found a nasty.
Oh, yeah,
All relocated.
yeah. It's a small one, but the juveniles will sometimes make the small ones. Look in the bedding spot right here of pine boughs right here.
Well, yeah, well, and these are trees up here. Those are trees right there.
That's definitely a typical
There's a shitload
type
of mushrooms.
structure.
Just see the size of those ones right there. They're this big around.
It'd be nice to pick the ones you know that you can eat.
The black one.
Mushroom.
I'm gonna stick out or something. Got weird yellow stuff on the inside. Soft. Rub my eyes now, huh?
Yep, there's the other one coming up right back in there, huh?
Yeah.
Is that another variety?
Yeah.
That you're messing with it?
I don't know if these are mushrooms or these. These are all black. I think they are.
Two different types of mushrooms growing right side by side here.
Well, hell, there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, we've probably seen a dozen varieties of mushrooms.
The big white ones are all over up here.
Looking at 12 inches. It's a small track. 5.5, 5.25. About a 4-inch hill.
We point out the toes.
But the big thing that, and you need to really get down here to look at this.
It's zoomed in, dude. It's in there.
See the rub? You could see individual toes where they rubbed up into the mud. That's what's impressive about this print. Is that, I mean, it's just pretty distinct. It's a smaller one, obviously, juvenile.
But we just found a 17 and a 14 in the snow. Guys that got harassed by the Bigfoot 20 months ago said it was three of them. So there's 3 footprints that we just found all together. 2 in the snow, 1 in the mud.
There's a mud.
Not saying they're the ones that harassed those guys. Not even saying they're Bigfoot, but
8,000, 9,000 feet and walking around barefoot? I don't think so.
Jenny found this last night. About 12.5 inches long footprint. About 6.5 inches wide. At the widest point. It has a great mid-tarsal area. And then she put her footprint next to it for comparison last night. You know, it's not one of these giant footprints that you want to cast, but because it's in a level place, we're going to attempt to cast it today. And the reason is because on this mountainside across the way, at the top, we found 17-inch footprints today in the snow and 14 inches in the snow. And then we found one with about a 12.5-inch dimension, just like this one, up in the mud up there with really great toes. It was full of water, not as level as this one to cast, but we're gonna cast this one after finding those. The people that were ran out of camp about 20 months ago that were deer hunting, they claimed it was by 3 Bigfoot. If these are all indeed Bigfoot footprints, the trackway in the snow of the 17 and 14, and then this 12 and a half, that's 3 individuals right there. Not saying that these are Bigfoot footprints, but it's very compelling, especially because a Bigfoot sighting happened so recently here. Like I said before, the place is known as Sasquatch. It's even, you know, the Jarbidge area. It's cannibal giants. And just before it starts to set up, you want to start getting it poured. I'm going to dump casting material in here. It sets up in about 20-30 minutes. This art plaster sets up really fast. And you're supposed to overfill these, by the way. We casted the footprint that Jenny found last night. Haven't had really any rain or strong winds or anything, so it's still just about the same as she found it last night. Just gonna let that dry. Hopefully it survives. We can pull it up and take it home with us. We got lucky, and whatever it was stepped in some soft soil for us and left us a great impression. We dug up the cast. Here it sits all nice and dry. The bottom of it, that's the most important part, and we'll just naturally let the dirt and everything wear off on its own. We'll get this home and study it more. Great find. We found some trackways and was even able to cast a footprint here in Jarbidge. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.